ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CPW Uproar. I am Jacob Clark, and I am joined today by James Randall. James, tell me about the show today.
This show is the last stop on the road to Bloody Valentine, and it is going to be an absolute monumental show for quite a few people on the card here tonight. Starting with Leo Carter, an Origins regular. Leo Carter has stopped in on Covenant Pro Wrestling Uproar to take on Dragon Kid to show you all what Origins is all about. And you can catch that on the first and third Saturdays of every month. But right now, you're going to catch it specially right here, right now.
DK, hoorah!
Absolutely. We don't know much about Leo Carter, but we are going to find out soon enough.
Ladies and gentlemen, your opening contest is scheduled for one fall, with a time limit of 20 minutes. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, weighing in at 160 pounds, this is the Dragon Hero, Dragon Kid!
The Dragon Hero, our tag team champion, making his way to the ring. He's had quite a bit of animosity with Origins regular Leo Carter, LC as he is called, because LC has kind of an ego going on, and he has insulted Dragon Kid's wife. Not a good move if you're looking to have a lucrative and long career here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, because despite what you may think, Dragon Kid is not one to mess with.
I mean, can we just say that LZ has done a lot more than insult Dragon Kid's wife? He has insulted Dragon Kid's friends, he has insulted Dragon Kid's family, and I know this because I was there when it was happening. We kicked him in the balls quite a lot of times.
You know, those low blows can only take you down, and I hope for LC's case that he is able to avert that crisis momentarily. But with the look on Dragon Kid's face right now, it's not looking good for him. All he can do is cross his fingers and learn his lessons at this point, but he may surprise us. That's what Origins is all about, surprising us and showing us the world, what they're worth. And Uproar right now is having the special, ability to get a bird's eye view in on that here tonight.
I mean, this is going to be a good place to, showcase the skill and ability of a lot of our Origins wrestlers such as LC. We're going to be able to showcase their ability and showcase what they can do against one of our top stars here on Uproar.
And without further ado, I guess we're going to see LC.
And now for his opponent, representing Covenant Pro Wrestling Origins, making his way to the ring from London, England, weighing in at 235 pounds, this is LC Leo Carter!
Leo Carter making his way to the ring with a selfie stick. Not quite sure what his MO is with that. We've heard that he's a little egotistical. We've heard that he is self-centered, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Focus on your opponent. Focus on the task at hand. This is a bad move in my opinion, Jacob.
But why is he staring at himself? Like, he's not that good looking.
I mean, the least he could do, he may want a chicken bowl, but the least he could do is be watching CovenantProWrestling.com for all of the Covenant Pro Wrestling content out there. There is a surplus coming to you shortly, and a surplus that is available now on CovenantProWrestling.com. The least he could do is be watching us, but no, he's watching himself. I don't like it at all.
Never know, we might be able to get this footage and sell it on CPW, CovenantProWrestling.com. Never know.
Absolutely.
Make an NFT out of it.
Upload it to our YouTube. Make us a YouTube short, LC. Take one for the team, but no, you're going to try to take one for yourself. I see. James Randall, not in a good mood right now, but let's see if you're going to be in a good mood after this match.
And we get the match underway. The first match, opening match of Uproar, as DK just goes out with some heavy chops. But I'd like to say a veteran of some sort, you know, managing to get out of those chops, duck underneath. As this man, LC, Leo Carter, has wrestled in AAA and PWG and is a former PWG champion. He is not a man to be messed with.
Leo Carter has been around. He used to wrestle as a masked luchador, but now he is unmasked, showing the world exactly who he is in the flesh here tonight. He's not one to take lightly, but Dragon Kid, he isn't either.
Dropping the DK on the back of his neck and just smacking him in the face with a knee. He could be trying to bust open that nose and already going for a submission. Maybe trying to embarrass DK by making him tap out this early on into the match. But let's be honest, DK's a much better wrestler than that, and there we go. DK already fighting out of it with some elbows to the head of Leo, getting up, and the two are now facing off once again. DK getting the advantage, and a massive wheelbarrow DDT from DK.
You know, when you try to stretch DK around, when you try to get him out of his element with a submission, you have to realize how flexible the DK is. He's a former gymnast in his small town of Mexico. He's done everything there was to do in the world of being a gymnast, and now he's transitioned into Covenant Pro Wrestling and wrestling in general. It's going to take a lot to take him out, and maybe these triple suplexes here might do it.
The three amigos from LC, which is ironic because he has no friends. And another big wheelbarrow DDT from DK.
You know, sometimes it's not all about making friends. I wish that it was, but unfortunately we get, you know, these characters that come in from time to time, walk in the door and think they're, you know, the star, but that axe kick by Dragon Kid proving that Dragon Kid is the star in this matchup, but LC still has an opportunity to prove that he deserves a spot as well.
DK going up top, LC trying to stop him, but he does! He manages to put DK off balance, and DK went for his move anyway, and just missed the move because LC put him off balance. And LC just looking for that massive double fireman's carry, whatever that's called. I cannot remember.
The Death Valley Driver. The Death Valley Driver is a devastating move, but Dragon Kid up yet again. LC went for that springboard moonsault, but the quickness, but the athleticism of DK.
And a massive lariat sending DK back down to the floor. James, do you want any chicken fried rice? And he hit the STFR, and then the LC cutter straight after.
LC cutter. What a 2 count. I thought for sure that was going to be a 3.
And DK kicking him in the head, kicking him in the gut, possibly going for another axe kick, and he gets it. This chicken fried rice is really good. And DK with the kid salt!
Kid salt to perfection. Pinfall here. LC shoulders down. What a kick out.
The move that won him and Morgan Sharp those tag team championships. The kid salt.
That is true. And now DK showing us some of his technique there.
It may look flashy, but it's also a very effective maneuver.
And a Dragon Sleeper applied by DK.
Dragon Sleeper like Dragon Kid.
That is a very appropriate observation. DK looking to bring him over to the corner, but LC fights out with some elbows to the midsection. And now possibly going for a tombstone pile driver. No, a lung blower.
And hits him with a lung blower. God damn. That takes some strength. Even with a man of DK's size, which isn't that much, that takes a lot of strength to fling another man up like that. And lifting him up. And a pile driver dropping DK on his neck.
He must have heard what I was expecting and decided to oblige, but DK still fighting his way through this matchup. A poison Rana there.
Going for that moon stomp is LC, but DK blocks it and gets in the...
What?
DK, I will be having words with you after
I
this.
think DK has been staying up past his bedtime because that looked an awfully lot like a midnight.
DK, come on. Please ask first.
Pinfall here, shoulders down.
1, 2. No! See, DK... I need to teach that man how to hit a rolling elbow, goddamn.
But now,
and the horrible espresso shot!
hit to perfection.
And he wins!
By way of pinfall, Dragon
The Bahamut Espiritu, the Stun Dog Millionaire, whatever you want to call it, it works. Dragon Kid showing why he has been so dominant as tag team champion, showing that he's transitioning from a Dragon Kid into a Dragon Man. I cannot wait to see where he goes from here.
I mean, it's a massive win for DK. He's getting a lot of momentum going into Bloody Valentine, which is in 2 weeks' time.
No, he has tons of people gunning for his tag team championships. He's been succeeding and exceeding expectations in singles action. Dragon Kid is on a roll, no matter how you look at it.
I mean, from what I've seen, DK is looking unstoppable right now. Never know, he could be going after Will Sheridan sometime soon for that World Championship.
Everyone's going after Will Sheridan. That's another story for another time in this broadcast. But right now, we're going to hear from William Black. William Black saying that it'll be known as a God Killer, potentially for defeating Loki at Bloody Valentine. But wait a minute, Loki appearing out of nowhere, manifesting out of a cloud of green smoke, taking it to William Black.
What did I just see?
But I have never seen anything like this in my life. William Black has been calling him a false god, but that didn't look very false to me. And now, as he stands over William Black, this does not bode well.
And now, making his way to the ring,
Ladies
he
and
is
gentlemen,
the
now
bounty
I'm
hunter, Fray.
I'm being told we're going to hear from Foray about why he attacked Ebac just a couple of weeks ago on the last episode of Uproar. The bounty hunter, I guess, has a few words that he would like to say.
I mean, I'd like to know why he attacked Evac, personally.
I'm sure everyone would like to know. You know, he came in on the right foot. He was turning his life around, turned the ways of the Yakuza around, and he wasn't doing any of the nefarious, any of the underhanded things that he normally had been doing in the past. And we thought it was a change for him, but now the colors are starting to bleed through. And Foray, I don't know about this guy.
Hey, it's the general thing, is you can't keep up the act forever. At some point, you're going to have to, you know, the mask will slip, the facade will flip, and your true colors will show.
And that is probably what we've been seeing in recent weeks with Foray, the bounty hunter. I guess he didn't find the right bounty until now. Hey, this company's not that poor. I get paid.
I get paid. I get a decent contract now.
Doesn't sound like an us problem. It sounds like a him problem.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Mind the gap there, Fray. You beat no one, my friend. You blindsided me after a match. If you think that gets you any form of respect around here, you have another thing coming. You showed the entire world that you could punch someone in the back of the head and then beat them down without any problem at all. Anyone can get a jump on someone and claim victory. All it does, it exposes you for the coward and cheat that you are. You may have found yourself pretty petty, but that's all you gain. Money. And money can't buy you respect around here. Now, as it stands, I have vested interest in knowing exactly who put a hit out on me. So I am willing to play this game. You and me, in that ring, face to face, one-on-one, at bloody Valentine. You think you're in a position to negotiate? No. You said you beat me and took me, but you did it under questionable circumstances. Let's see if you can take me down fair and square. No tricks and no surprises. I'll be holding it to CPW officials to ensure this match is called 100% down the road. I look forward to our competition, Hitman.
Well, while that simmers down or potentially revs up, we're going to hear from Pinkish. We're going to see him in action just momentarily. But against who? You know, we've seen Pinkish and Jacob Nitro sort of dodging each other as of late. And is that going to continue here tonight?
Fall. Introducing first. Making their way to the ring from the tower, weighing in at 213 pounds, he is the 8th Coyote, the Traveler's chosen hunter, Pinkish.
Pinkish making his way down to the ring. Last time we saw him wrestle, it seemed he had turned off his limiter. Seemed he had, you know, just leveled up a bit, got to a new level of destruction. Wow.
Absolutely, either turned off the limiter or adjusted the settings on his AI. Maybe he tapped into Chat GPT, we're not sure. But right now, Pinkish is coming down to the ring, and I'm being told that Jacob Nitro is not in the building here tonight. And this match is not going to happen yet again. So Pinkish has apparently chosen a partner of his own choosing, a backup partner that he's had on retainer for the last several weeks. So he will have a match here tonight and not lose any of the momentum that he's had built up over the last few weeks. And that at Bloody Valentine, these two will face Jacob Nitro and Pinkish, or they will be suspended and put on garbage duty.
Ooh. Ugh. Ugh. Yeah. I have a real weak stomach. I don't like garbage duty. Yeah.
And I also forgot you were eating. My apologies.
And now for his opponent. Approaching the ring, weighing in at 260 pounds from a swamp near you, this is Sasquatch Show!
Well, Jacob, I don't know about you, but I think that's a hell of a lot more than 260 pounds. That looks at least 315 to me. Look at the shoulder width on this man and tell me that is 260 pounds.
That's a big boy.
It's a big boy. He is the Squatch to watch from a swamp near you. And right now, near you, is right on Coveted Pro Wrestling Uproar.
I'm enjoying my chicken balls while watching myself some Sasquatch Shaw. Today's a good day. And this man makes his way down to the ring. Stopping a bit to take in the atmosphere before taking a quick run and sliding into the ring. That's a fast-paced man for the size of him.
Absolutely. We've seen Sasquatch Shaw before. He's shown us a tremendous amount of athleticism, especially when considering that Mohawk gets in the way quite often. He's able to negotiate those situations quite well, and he's really been impressive. But a hand-picked opponent on a retainer from Pinkish. Could it be that Sasquatch Shaw is going to do a job here, or is he going to surprise us all?
I mean, let's be real here. With the form Pinkish has been on recently here, I think Shaw is here to do the job, collect a paycheck, and not in the victory paycheck sense.
Yeah, that comes into another form for the IRS, but I digress. Sasquatch Shaw going to show us exactly why he is here in Coveted Pro Wrestling. Whether or not he wins or loses, he is sure to impress.
And Shaw just using those massive arms of his to rock Pinkish in the head, and now he's rocking him in the back. Giving it to Pinkish from
a
the
huge
back.
splash.
And just putting all of his body weight stomping down on the arm of Pinkish. Possibly trying to rip out the circuits that's keeping him together.
That can definitely damage some circuitry, and as can those huge headbutts being hit with authority there by the Squatch to watch.
That has to hurt Shaw, surely. That man is made of metal.
A 2 count there. Referee Leonard Seymour sees the heavy man for all that he is and tries to make sure that those pinfalls are counted right down the middle. And now this is a dangerous spot for both of these men to be in. This is like a meteor shower here.
And dropping that massive double axe handle on Pinkish. Trying to lift him up, but Pinkish, once again, made of metal. Shaw does not have the strength to lift him up.
You know, Pinkish says that he's around 200 pounds. Excuse you. Pinkish says he's around 200 pounds. But
once again,
I disagree.
Struggling to lift him, but finally gets him over. And dropping the elbow.
Pinkish has got to be made of titanium or adamantium or something heavy. Steel, iron, whatever it may be.
And whatever it is, it's quite possibly... And just striking with a massive forearm to the head. Or elbow, something to the head.
I think it's actually the Fist of Havoc, that step-up Superman punch that he likes to hit.
And he just hit the Thunder Crash onto Shaw. And Shaw kicks out. And a choke slam from Shaw.
A huge choke slam. Shaw wrenching up on the neck, bending that back, applying pressure with the knee, but Pinkish yet again able to get out of it.
And just dropping Pinkish down to a knee. And finally lifting him up and slamming him into the corner, but throwing him halfway across the ring. These rings are not small rings. He just threw that man at least 10 feet. And just, once again, just throwing him.
Could be a big power slam, though, a giant scoop slam. His scoop slams seem like power slams at this point because of his mass, his strength, and just the height that he's dropping you from.
I mean, he is a very tall man. But Pinkish just saying, bring it on, and ducking under, hitting him with I don't know what combination of moves. People trying to sweep the leg, but Shaw is just too big to have his leg swept out from under him.
And somehow, Somehow Pinkish readjusting his weight just to counter out of all of these moves.
And a massive clubbing blow to Shaw. 3 of them, and Shaw's down on the floor and just smacking his head against the floor. And I didn't mean for that to rhyme, but it did. I guess I'm a rapper now. I guess you are. I didn't even realize I was rhyming those words.
Ladies and gentlemen, be on the lookout for Jacob Clark's very first album coming out soon on CovenantProWrestling.com.
I'm selling tickets to it. I'm going on tour.
At least 2 of them.
Get it? Like tickets to pound for. That's my move. Anyway, Pinkish remaining on top and just brutalizing Shaw, kicking him in the stomach, lifting him
and now
up,
it's time for it again.
Thunder crash to Shaw.
Thunder crashes twice in the same place. Is that it?
And it is this contest by way of pinfall, Pinkish.
You know, a job or not, Pinkish was impressive in that matchup, showing his strength, showing his agility, showing the wherewithal that he had to counter out of each of those moves that he was able to get out of. You know, it shows us that at Bloody Valentine, we are in for a different Pinkish, unlike we have seen before. And if this momentum continues, if this match finally happens as it should, Jacob Nitro versus Pinkish may be one of the best matches that CPW has seen in our early history.
Or it could be one of the quickest with the form Pinkish is in right now.
That is absolutely true. Jacob Nitro, take notes and look out, because that is who we were facing in just 2 weeks' time. And now I'm being told that we're going to hear from our World Heavyweights champion, Will Sheridan.
Oh, cool, Will's there. I'm going for a piss
Ladies
break.
and gentlemen,
Bye.
please welcome your World Heavyweight Champion, Will Sheridan.
Will Sheridan making his way out to the ring. You know, I'm struggling for a moment to find what to say about this man here. You know, when we started Covenant Pro Wrestling, when this whole thing opened its doors, Will Sheridan was the hero of this story. But now after he has changed his tune, after he has gone a little bit too power hungry, does Jamie Clark have a point? Is Will Sheridan a god or a king that needs to be dethroned?
Ladies and gentlemen, isn't it just a beautiful night? I mean, after the suspension of Jamie Clark 2 weeks ago, even that air smells fresher. I guess that's what happens when you take out the trash. You see, Jamie Clark, the propaganda machine, he wants to tell this message, this slogan, this phrase, that there are no gods and no kings. He wants to convince you that I'm undeserving of my status here. And he claims that somehow, some way, sometime soon, he is going to dethrone me. It's interesting. It's interesting that a guy who comes from a family full of king's men and king's women wants to turn around and tell the world that there are no gods and no kings. But considering the fact that Jamie Clark is the only Clark to never be world champion, when Jamie Clark says there's no gods, no kings, what he really means to say is that there's no gods, no kings named Jamie Clark. But understand this, Jamie. You are pretty high. You see, you got your foot in the door because all the people that you burdened, your friends, your family, your trainers, they all put in a good word for you. And this is fact and nothing but fact, Jamie. You are nothing but a burden. You see, you like to soak up all the attention that a younger you should be getting. And when you think about it, when you really think about it, you are likely the very reason why you turn out to be such a stuck-up, idiotic douchebag that 585 security and chokes out Dower Rangers. You're in a timeline, corrupting it, when you shouldn't even be here yet. And you tell me that I'm the problem. You call me the villain for finally getting my time to shine. When you don't even have the decency to realize that this moment, this era, was never even supposed to involve you in the first place. You want to waltz in here as if you simply aren't an extra and try to be a main character. Jimmy Clark, as you sit in a home that isn't even your home, I hope you hear this. Ladies and gentlemen, look away. Don't even look at that screen, I swear to God. Jamie Clark.
Ladies and gentlemen, something is developing in the backstage area. Security is being attacked by a masked assailant here.
Oh, why is Will still here? Oh, yay! Oh, it's the guys. Oh, love that.
I can't even describe the carnage that I am seeing right now. Somebody just got hit. Wait a minute. That got hit with a stop sign. This needs to be stopped.
Go on, slam him down. Put him where he belongs. Into the washing machine. Onto the concrete.
I know that, man. Carl has a family, and leave Frank out of this. Don't put him through the table. Frank has a family as well.
You know who else is a family? Jamie Clark. He has a family he needs to feed, and Will suspended him for no good reason. So,
I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. These people are here to protect the audience, and now look what's happening.
They're not here to protect the audience. They're here to protect Will. Okay? That's all they're here for. They don't care about anyone else in this company. Same as Will Sheridan.
You're at home or whatever lackeys you got working for you, it's not going to throw me off. I've got a match I need to prepare for against my good friend Brad Winters, who deserves to face me. And I know that eats you up inside, but everybody's going to want to watch me later on tonight. And I'm not concerned about you at all, because the show goes on.
Ladies and gentlemen, Will Sheridan saying that the show goes on, and right now I guess it is, because we're going right in to tag team action. Mac Daddy Furnace and Bruno Natoli taking on Hans Massaggio and his partner here, James Kenny. What's this guy's name? Kenny Mitch. Mitch Kenny. Whatever. This guy coming up,
the Bajan Canadian,
coming in off the indies to prove his worth.
The following tag team contest is scheduled for one fall. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Palermo, Sicily, weighing in at 235 pounds, this is Magnifico Bruno Natoli.
Bruno Natoli, the grandson of Santana Natoli, an Italian wrestling icon, making his way out to the ring without Dimitri, his trainer tonight, because he is teaming up with Mac Daddy Furnace. You know, I am excited to see the role that Bruno stays on, hopefully, in this matchup, because he is impressed on a level that very few have in coming to pro wrestling. Don't you agree, Jacob?
Yeah, like his grandfather is an amazing wrestler, a very humble man. This man here, bit of a douche. Being honest, bit of a douche.
I don't know, he seems pretty magnifico to me.
James, I'll put you down like a dog.
Put me down like a dog? Put me down for one of those Bruno Natoli t-shirts that you can only find on CovenantProWrestling.com.
James, I'm already in a bad mood because of Will. Do you want to make it worse?
Listen, eat your chicken balls and shut up.
And now for his partner, approaching the ring from Bradford, England, weighing in at 245 euros, this is the White Rose, Mac Daddy Furnace.
Mac Daddy Furnace, an unlikely tag team partner.
Let's go, Rock.
Well-
Go grub.
While you finish swallowing what you're chewing on, Mac Daddy Furnace, former king of Genesis, making his way onto the ring, somehow ejected into the tag team division, trying to make a mark with Bruno Natoli. You know, these are
These
two
two
of...
do not want to be teammates.
No,
They
not at
want,
all.
They want the tag titles, but they do not want to win them together, but have seemed to try to be forced together to coexist to win the tag titles.
I mean, would you want to
And now
tag
for the
with
remote.
Bruno Natoli? Because I sure as hell would want to tag with Mac Daddy
Making their way to
Furnace.
the
God,
ring
no.
In their Covenant Pro Wrestling debut. From
But
Las
ladies
Vegas,
and
Nevada, weighing in at 205 pounds, this is the High Roller, Hans Massaggio.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just hit the jackpot. Hans Massaggio making his Covenant Pro Wrestling debut. The High Roller from Las Vegas. Hans Massaggio is one of the most critically acclaimed wrestlers to come out of the Las Vegas area. A former adult entertainer transitioning into gambling, transitioning then into professional wrestling. And let me tell you, when Hans Massaggio was in the ring, there is no gamble. It's going to be a banger.
I knew I recognized him from somewhere.
You might want to clear your browsing history, but yes, Hans Massaggio is here in Covenant Pro Wrestling, ready for an uproar.
Chinese down the road, really good. But this man, speaking of really good, Hans Massaggio, amazing wrestler, and better at a lot of other things.
And now for his part.
You got me with that one. That one was pretty good, Jacob. I'll give you that one.
one. Weighing in at 246 pounds, this is the future Kenny Mitch.
Ladies and gentlemen, the future. Kenny Mitch, I gotta get the name right. Coming in to Covenant Pro Wrestling, this random pairing of opponents here for Mac Daddy Furnace and Bruno Natoli are said to be a warm-up match for their entrance into the tag team division. Kenny Mitch has had a long history of, negative things happening in his life, a lot of trials and tribulations that he has overcome. He was once concussed in the middle of a ring and was out of action for many, many years. He had a baby out of wedlock at the age of 19, stepped up to be a father, and now he is stepping up to try to make his name here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And
He's got curtains, I don't like it.
this is the absolute best opportunity for someone to do that.
And we get the match started as we have Bruno and Hans
Well,
in the ring as
I
Hans
believe it's
takes
Hans.
control of the match.
I believe it's Hans, but when he's in the ring, someone's gonna catch these hands.
And there we see him jump off that middle rope and throwing his ass in Bruno's face. That seems to be a good part of his profession recently.
Absolutely. He's got thousands of subscribers, hundreds of thousands of subscribers on his OnlyFans. And the OnlyFans that we need to be worrying about right now are the ones in the attendance here tonight in the crowd and ones watching at home, because now they have the treat of seeing Hans in the ring, but Mac Daddy Furnace treating Hans to a couple of hands of his own.
And just punching him right in the face, giving us that money shot.
Wait, isn't that one of Mac's moves? Or no?
And Hans with a massive forearm to Mac. Mac kicking him in the gut, sending him into the corner. What could he be looking for? Grabbing him. Could he be looking to dangle him by the neck? And yes, he is. Dangling him by the neck with a dragon sleeper on the top rope. And just
Cutting
letting
off
him
that
go
windpipe.
before the ref disqualifies him for doing that. And Hans just
Wrenching at the
dropping
arm and
down,
getting the tag.
bringing in Kenny. What's Kenny going to do here? Going straight after Mac, but Mac kicks him in the gut and just straight away gets in that nice combination of punches and chops. Lifting his leg out, a boot to the foot, bending it underneath that rope. That right there is a really bad injury for that. Not even injury, sorry. Really bad pain for the ligament on the knee. I've had it done to me a few times, and it it has stopped me from walking for a few minutes after.
Take you out of a matchup for sure. For the amount that you're in a matchup, the amount of time, that allotted time that we have, it can definitely be a make or break situation, just like that cutter off of the springboard there.
And just a massive dragon screw to Bruno, lifting him up. Ripcord knee right to the jaw of Bruno.
But we haven't seen much of Mitch Kinney yet. But I am impressed, honestly. I'm impressed with him. I'm impressed with Hans. What are you thinking right now?
I mean, both of the men so far have been able to put up a decent fight, but Bruno and Mac have been able to, keep control of the match. Mac getting back in, and both of these two men are big fan of the pump and dump.
Absolutely, and that Dragon Rana there.
Massive, massive Dragon Rana as he stomps on the hands of Hans. Wait.
Hands? Hans? Hands?
And just a massive Kamigoye to Hans as Hans kicks out. Matt falling into his feet. Could he be looking for the box office breaker? But no, his leg was caught and hit with a dragon screw. And Hans is probably dragon screwing your mother by the end of this match.
You leave her out of this, but wait a minute. Mac Daddy Furnace doing the smart thing and getting a tag into Bruno Detoli.
Bringing in the healthier man. Smart thing to do. As Bruno lifts him up onto his shoulders and just drops him down. 1, 2, and Hans is there to break it up. Well, this match currently is comprised of 4 singles wrestlers that have just sort of been paired together.
Absolutely, and it's a difficult task, but you know what? Bruno Natoli inherited that immigrant work ethic from his grandfather Santana, excuse me.
Pump and dump from Mac Daddy Furnace. And Hans breaking it up straight away as he knows what a pump and dump is like.
Absolutely. But both of these men, all of these men are willing to do the hard jobs, and that comes with that. It comes with the legacy of being a second generation wrestler or someone that's been, thoroughly trained to make sure that everything is on the up and up. An elbow drop there.
And a massive spin kick to Mac. But back to your previous point. Speaking of hard jobs, Hans. Anyway, Mac just a massive, massive punch to the jaw of Kenny Mitch, dropping him down, spinning round. A nice wrestling takedown from Mac, and Mac tagging in Bruno. These two have been working surprisingly well as a tag team right now.
Absolutely, you wouldn't have predicted it, but they do seem to want that gold quite a bit. Went for that Sicilian scoop slam. I almost said silicone. You almost had me on that one. But a clothesline.
Massive lariat. Short arm lariat from Kenny, lifting him up. What could he be looking for here? Just dropping him down. The disrespect of Kenny to just lift him up and drop him.
Wait a minute, he might be going for that guided missile. The springboard neck breaker there.
And just tagging in Hands. I wouldn't want to tag him in. I don't know where those hands have been. As he sends Bruno into the corner. Bruno getting straight out. Oh, but no! Hands straight away getting right back into it with a massive combination followed by a clothesline lariat, whatever you want to call it.
And I just want to remind us that we cannot sell Hans short. He is a man that single-handedly obliterated Chuck Norris in a game of poker and then accidentally knocked him out with a single flick.
And Bruno with a leg sweep to Hans, sending him onto his back where he's used to being.
Well, Hans is too worried about his hands. He's forgetting about his other extremities, such as the legs.
But Bruno tagging Mac straight back in. Once again, these two working really well as a tag team. Such a surprising thing.
Working really well, but I don't understand why Mac allowed Hans to get that tag. And hitting the thrill of the hunt there on Mac Daddy Furnace, which he likes to call his NF Terror, kind of insult to injury here.
Hands lifting him up. What was that? I don't even know what to call that. But 1, 2, Matt kicking out of that massive, whatever that was.
But now, a tombstone pile driver.
Dropping Mac on the top of his head, compressing his neck.
The second occasion that Hans knocked out Chuck Norris was with that move.
And tagging in Kenny, and Kenny just going straight for the pin. But Matt kicking out. The tag that Hans just made to give Kenny the pinfall might have cost them the match here. But
Wait
no!
a minute,
The spitball from Kenny Mitch. 1, 2.
Kenny Mitch.
No!
Kenny Mitch with the perfect pitch. It was not perfect enough because Mac Daddy Furnace going here for maybe a box office breaker. It might be like Avatar 2 in here because that's a way of win.
Box office breaker by Mac. And Hans just standing there, but Kenny kicks out.
And yet again,
but could Bruno be looking to end it off by just hitting him with that Magnificotta? And not, yes, maybe?
and he does. A variation.
Magnificotta. But Hans this time breaking it up. There you go, a bit of miscommunication from Mac and Bruno as Mac accidentally tries to hit Hans, but hits Bruno as well.
You know, all of these men in this matchup are booked as, you know, random or oddball partners, but each of these teams has been significantly impressive.
Both of these teams have worked really well as units as he goes for that massive forearm that crushes and burns, hitting the canvas. Could he have been looking for that Dragon Sleeper? We will not know as Bruno runs away. Gio jumps off the rope and hits a massive drop kick to Kenny. And as you can see, Mac and Hans still fighting on the outside as Kenny gets the elbows to Bruno to get out of that. But Bruno standing straight back to the floor.
And Bruno's gone for that Sicilian scoop slam several times, and Mitch has been able to get out of it both times.
It could be because Mitch is such a fresh man in this match. We haven't seen much of him, but he does seem to be getting back in. And a massive lariat to Bruno as he goes and tags in Hans. Hans in the ring. What could he be looking for here? A massive Rana straight to Bruno Natoli. Sorry, I'm not that. Hans, you alright now?
Went there for another head scissors, but he should have just stayed on his feet a little more.
That's what that's called, a head scissors. I'm not a good professional wrestler, god damn.
You know, you don't really need to know the names of the moves to know that they're gonna hurt, so I don't fault you for that one.
Too many hits to the head. As he just went for that
minute.
Mac, you're a good man. He stopped him from hitting that midnight as he grabs him and hits that box office breaker.
The box office may be busted, the shoulders are down, but Mac Daddy Furnace
letting him out to go and attack Hans. As he hits the pump and dump. The thing that these two have in common.
Mac Daddy Furnace is just cracked right now. I could not believe what we are seeing.
But Hans getting out of it very quickly as he is very used to a good old pump and dump.
Absolutely, and Mac Daddy Furnace, much to his credit, right back on the attack, but Kenny Mitch, I should say, able to get out of these maneuvers that he's trying to hit him with.
Hans bought him enough time to get back into this match, to get some time to recover. But Matt kicking him straight in the head. Could he have been looking for another box office breaker there with that kick? And a massive short arm lariat.
You know, Kenny Mitch able to stay at a distance.
I will kill your mother. Sorry.
I know that's a tough one for you to see. A fisherman suplex there with the leg hooked. Went for a pin for a moment, but right now he may be looking for that guided missile yet again, but Mac Daddy Furnace had it
moving
scouted.
Out of the way and just lifting up and dropping him on that arm.
That arm breaker.
Back and getting that Fujiwara.
hyper extending that elbow is all you need to do for someone like Kenny Mitch to tap out.
But going for the pinfall thing, he doesn't have enough strength in the shoulder to kick out after that. And he doesn't.
This contest,
and the veteran move here by Mac Daddy Furnace, picking the spot and realizing when he has worn his opponent down. I apologize for talking through the wonderful ring announcer here, but I had to just, announce that or highlight that because that was a great move. Fabulous tag team wrestling there.
I mean, the ring announcer does a very good job. I'm just not a fan of his voice. It's quite annoying.
I kind of hate that guy.
Yeah, bit annoying if you ask me. But could these two be shaking hands? Like the other time. Max thinking about it. Oh, but Bruno
Natoli not willing to shake Mac Daddy Furnace's hands. And now both of these men competing with the crowd for the affection of the fans.
And the two getting in each other's faces. And
Mac Daddy Furnace had enough. Wait, no. Jacob, this is such an odd pairing. I cannot believe what we are seeing right now.
I don't think I've ever seen something like this before, and I'm very confused by it.
I think it just might work. But now, speaking of working, Lauren Osborne is going to be working quite hard to fight off the returning Cammy B, who has been gone for several weeks now. I think the last time, or one of the last times we saw her, was at Phoenix Rising, and now she is back. And I have heard that she is in a bad mood, so Lauren Osborne, look out.
Has Lauren got a haircut?
Ladies and gentlemen, the following matchup.
Lauren Osborne, she's doing something else.
She looks different. I think she's changed her hair.
Wait a minute.
This is the Welsh.
Is she using the exact same thing?
Lauren.
Let me check Twitter here. That explains it.
Do not search Lauren Osborne on Twitter. I have wrote that.
So, Lauren, according to her Twitter, has stopped wearing her signature face paint because she says she no longer needs to hide behind the paint that she covered her face with.
Ah, that makes sense. That's what the difference is. But Lauren Osborne making her way to the ring hasn't been in, let's be honest, hasn't been in the best form recently.
No, absolutely not. It's because, all of these different feuds and all of these different squabbles that have been going on, it gets in the head of, the people that want to succeed here in Covenant Pro Wrestling.
Making her way to the ring from Newark, New Jersey, this is Cammy B.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we said that she would be in a bad mood, and it seems like she has stopped going to anger management. That, if you're the wife of Johnny D, is not a good look, because that is Hurricane Cammy right there.
Cammy making her return after a while of not being seen in CPW. And I think she's looking to make a statement by, challenging the #1 contender to the CPW Women's Championship.
And making a statement is the right move here. Cammy is not a stranger to championships herself. She's a former queen of Genesis. Lauren Osborne, as far as I know, has not held the championship as of yet. So she has more experience in that regard than Lauren does. But Lauren really has made a claim for that belt. And as the matchup starts, she collides with Seymour.
But also, as this match gets underway, I would like to congratulate Lauren and her girlfriend for just moving into their first house together.
Congratulations, Lauren Osborne. I hope your house is everything you hope for.
But anyway, the massive Russian leg sweep with the arm trapped behind her back. And taking the other arm and stomping on it, giving her some even damage on the body.
And this is what we've seen in recent weeks, a smarter Lauren Osborne, a bolder Lauren Osborne, and unfortunately it doesn't always work out. but she is really showcasing her athleticism and showcasing that she can get it done from all corners of the ring.
Lauren going for the cover, but Cammy kicking out of one, showing that she is still here and still in good form. But Lauren with a massive swing neck breaker. Cammy booting her in the temple, realizing what she's done and just going straight after that temple of Lauren, hitting her repeatedly.
Cammy B is not one to take lightly. She spent most of her youth in juvenile detention before, fighting out of it and becoming an MMA fighter in order to survive. And now she has transitioned those skills into Covenant Pro Wrestling. And anyone that is in her path receives something like that with those knees to the midsection to those ribs. It'll shatter a rib, it'll crack a rib. It's not a good look for Lauren Osborne, but she still fights on.
And a massive suplex going straight into the cover from Lauren. 2. Cammy kicking out at 2. Once again showing that she is still here and she is still in good form. But a dragon sleeper from Lauren, getting it locked in, possibly looking for that early tap out. But Cammy getting the knees to the head of Lauren and getting out of it.
And for a combination that was blocked, and now Lauren Osborne sending Cammy into the corner.
There's some uppercuts to Cammy. Sending her into the other ring post. Running in with a massive uppercut. Sending her back. And another.
Absolutely brutal.
Massive drop kick from Lauren.
But wait a minute. The women's champion, Marilyn Myers, making her way out to the ring. The distraction is working perfectly. Cammy B gaining the wherewithal to capitalize.
But not willing to take the advantage. Yes, she is. A roll up from Cammy. 1. Lauren straight out of it.
Is that going to be lingering in the back of the mind of Lauren Osborne? Is she going to be able to get back on track here?
The real question is Lauren going to be able to stay out of her own head? She constantly, in all of her last matches, has got overly angry because of something that's happened. She needs to remain focused and remain in this match.
I think she may be focused, and so is Cammy B. She took that knee from Karma, that knee in the corner, like it was nothing. And Cammy B is focused because she's able to grab the ropes. Both of these women on equal footing, as unfortunate as the interference was.
And my Chinese is finished, and I'm here to commentate. Lauren,
awesome.
Rolling up the rope, and a massive knee to the back of Cammy. A Cammy knee, if you will. I'm going for that air Osborne, but missing. Sending her to the outside. Sliding out, following her out, if you will. Stomping on the arm. Could she be looking for a submission? No! Lauren gets out and kicks her in the back of the knee. Lauren just sending her and tripping her up on those steps.
And the barely padded concrete is nobody's friend. And just like I don't think these two women are friends, I think adding this to the equation makes the situation more dangerous.
And grabbing her and throwing her, trying to give her a taste of her own medicine, but Lauren tripping before she can get to those steps because of a bit of misplaced padding on that concrete.
Well, talking about misplaced padding, it sounds like you have a misplaced chicken ball there. Hopefully you'll do fine. No acid reflux on commentary, perhaps. But Lauren Osborne gaining momentum here, coming in at the 7 count. Of course, we do have up to 20 here. But is she looking for the airborne Osborne to the outside? No. She elects better of it.
Feet. I go for the big kick, but landing on her feet all the way to the outside. And Cammy was hitting with a punch before getting back in the ring, knowing that's the place she needs to win this match to prove herself. And just massive knees. No! Lauren punching out of it and hitting a knee of her own.
A graduate of the Covenant Pro Wrestling Academy. Lauren Osborne, with a 2 count there, has shown that she has all the tools that needs, all the tools that it requires to be a world-class women's champion here in CPW.
And Cammy picking Lauren up onto her shoulders, dropping her down, a massive punch to the jaw. Spinning her around, what could she be looking for here? Blackout suplex from Cammy.
Lauren may be blacked out for sure, but no, kicks out.
Going for it, and a massive moonsault. Dropping onto Lauren and going for the cover. One. Lauren kicking out. God damn, Lauren. You got some skill.
Lauren Osborne has skill, has grit, has determination, but
massive
Cammy
knee.
B.
Cammy B with a massive knee, calling her back up. Could she be looking for another blackout suplex? Yes, she is. Dropping Lauren on the back of her neck. But Lauren's foot is on that rope. But she kicks out anyway.
And I think for a moment, even though referee Leonard Seymour didn't see it, Lauren used that leverage from that rope to propel herself upwards and get out of that pin.
Lauren using those smart wrestling instincts as she sends her straight into the corner. And
wait,
could
a
be
Valley
looking
Driver!
For the Valley Driver, dropping her on her neck.
Devastating move, and that should be it.
1, 2.
2.
No, Cammy kicks out.
What is it going to take?
What is it going to take to keep Cammy down? It could be an airborne Osborne to keep her down. And I think it is an airborne Osborne from Lauren. 1, 2, 3. Lauren picking up the win.
And put that one in the record book. Lauren Osborne. A beautiful showing here tonight. You love to see it. Lauren Osborne coming out very dominant in this matchup. Even though it was back and forth, she always had the upper hand in terms of just the grit and determination, like we mentioned before, the will to keep going, the will to win. And Lauren Osborne may be our upcoming Covenant Pro Wrestling Women's Champion at Bloody Valentine. Congratulations, Lauren. It only goes up from here.
Lauren celebrating a massive victory.
But now you're celebrating yourself.
Lucas, you a bitch. I want to fight you. Championship match. Anytime you want. Fuck you, dickhead.
Wait a minute, midnight there. Lucas Button didn't like what Jacob Clark had to say, my broadcast colleague. He's got 2 tickets to the clown fall of Lucas Button. And now the athleticism of Jacob Clark as we head into Nava Leslie versus Hisano. Nava was supposed to debut several weeks ago on the December 11th episode of Covenant Pro Wrestling. She did not debut because Hisano and Belle Florent, our former CPW Women's Champion, took her out before she could get started here in CPW. And now
I've got Lucas's spit on my trousers. I'm going to quickly change into my spare pair.
Well, hopefully you wear your brown ones because this night it's going to have you shitting your pants.
Making her way to the ring from Glasgow, Scotland, please welcome Nava Leslie.
And before we get into this match, I'd like to congratulate Nava, who's just recently moved into a new house with her girlfriend.
Is that the same house or a different house? What are we talking here?
Dude, they've posted on Twitter, man. It's Nava and Lauren, come on.
All right, okay, fine. Listen, I don't get into people's relationships.
Anyway, Nava being put out of action for a month and hospitalized for 2 weeks by Belle and Hisano from that brutal attack, looking to get some revenge.
Looking to get some revenge on a bully named Hisano.
And now her opponent, hailing from the vicious streets of Kyoto, Japan, this is the Boss Woman, the Yakuza's #1 hit,
Hisano, the Boss Woman, the Yakuza's #1 hit, former Queen of Genesis 2 times for that championship.
And a few weeks ago, beating Lauren Osborne. Like, Lauren is the #1 contender for the CPW Women's Championship. Hisano is not a woman to be messed with.
Absolutely not, and I fear for Nava Leslie in this matchup, but I know that she's been having nothing else on her mind but defeating the bully known as Hisano, and Nava has made a life from her teen years out of taking out bullies and making them pay with her Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So she's not one to, frown upon either. But Hisano is going to have either a good time or a bad time in this matchup, yet to be seen. But you can only see it on Covenant Pro Wrestling.
And Nava having multiple reasons to want to, absolutely batter Hisano in this match. She injured her. She took Nava out of action. And then a few weeks ago, she slightly embarrassed Nava's girlfriend. Nava has a lot riding on this match and a lot of emotion in this.
Absolutely.
And then there you can see Hisano just sort of relaxing, getting very confident in her ability to win this match.
I mean, when you fight and you grow up in the Yakuza fight clubs, Covenant Pro Wrestling doesn't seem so bad. It doesn't seem like as much pressure from fighting for your life to fighting for a simple championship or a simple win. But I have news for Hisano here tonight, that a win against Nava Leslie is not going to be a simple matter.
And Hisano started off this match by grabbing Nava, but Nava just kicked her in the gut and has been on top since. But there we go, Hisano starting to get back into this with an elbow, grabbing Nava, what's she looking for here? Looking for a suplex, and just drops her face down. Not wanting to give Nava the possibility of kneeing her way out of that.
Now quickly changing her mind there, quickly changing the game plan, but Nava, the quickness and the strength to throw Hisano over the top rope.
Wanting her on the outside where she can get more damage done.
And Nava, I'm sure that you can tell us, because if you spent some time down in the CPW Academy training some folks, making sure that everything's on the up and up. What can you tell me about her technical acumen here?
Well, Nava's technical ability, she is a fighter more than... She knows how to fight. She knows how to be brutal, and she knows how to submit someone. She doesn't do a lot of the professional wrestling moves you'd like to see, where they lift them up and do all that fancy stuff. Nava
You mean
here,
like a German suplex that we just saw?
Nope, that is a mixed martial arts technique. Like, that's an actual like MMA technique that they teach you to get your opponent down to the floor.
I digress. You're correct, but continue, please.
Yes, she doesn't do most of the flashy moves to, look good and look cool. I take it back. She's up on the top. And just a massive, and that's why she doesn't do them. Flipping down and just missing Hisano.
But now a Cobra clutch on the outside. Russian leg sweep. That's a wrestling move, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, mate, there's just no need, is there, James? There's just no need. Okay, I said what I said. Okay, she is a former MMA fighter, okay? Shut up.
And as we can say here in this matchup, both former MMA fighters, Hisano and Nava, have a lot in common. But what they don't have in common, at least right now, is the anger, the pure rage that Nava has. So regardless if she's out right now, I have doubts that she's going to be out for long.
Very good point there. And just a massive stump pull and a leg snap from Hisano as she lifts Nava up and goes for it again. Once again, not trying to give Nava any options to get out of that. Once again, following up with an elbow to the head of Nava.
And similarly to Nava, this is just sheer brutality here. This is a fight. You know, this could be out in the street, out on the barely padded concrete, and it would look just the same. This is not a wrestling match right now. This is a fight for your life.
Nava lifting her up with a lumbar check. Dropping her on the, dropping the back of Hisano onto her knees.
And a 2 count there.
Out.
Leonard Seymour in perfect position, looking quite spiffy tonight in the black and white stripes. Leonard always the good guy here.
Lifting her up, slamming her face down. And pulling her into that accolade, her finishing move, the way she ends her matches.
Could this
Is
be
Hisano
it?
going to tap here? No, Hisano using that MMA training to get out of the submission.
And can we talk about the sequence of that? First, we had the lumbar check, and then we had the accolade. All things that apply pressure to that back, just as that suplex there. It seems as though she's targeting one part of the body.
Nava knows what she wants to do, and Nava knows what she needs to do to win this match, and that is attack the back of Hisano, because that is where Nava is strongest. But both of these two keep stretching out each other's arms, trying to make their limbs weak. Harder to hit those big...
Shiharai!
The Shiharai to Nava, and the pin for 1, 2. No, Nava kicking out, saying she's not going to let her take her out again.
The crowd screaming, this is wrestling, but Hisano in the corner preparing
For the hit! And it connects on Nava, calling Nava straight back up to her feet. And I think this might be over.
Well,
no,
wait a minute.
Nava! Using all of her body strength to get straight back up.
That core strength, incredible.
Sends her down. Could she be looking? Could she be looking for that accolade? And I think she is. Slamming her down. And staring directly into the hard cam. Making Hisano stare into the fans that are watching this from home. And Hisano taps, staring
this is a
down
statement.
all the fans.
This is a statement. Make her suffer.
And your winner of this contest, by way of submission, Nava Leslie.
That is what I call vindication.
And Nava picking up that massive win against Hisano.
You know, that's a story that ended how it should have ended. Is it over yet? We're not quite sure. But that is a chapter that went exactly the way that it should have. And we see the recap. We see her holding that lock for as long as she can, letting her know. Wait a minute
it's
here.
definitely not done, because Nava keeping the attack going after everything that Hisano's done to her.
Florent making her way out to the ring. Working on that leg there. Now,
Emma coming in.
Barkley.
Drop kick to Bell, and the full woman is staring down, and the 2. And Bell and Hisano are going right after Emma and Nava. And a massive kick to the head of Nava, and a knee drop, sending Nava rolling to the outside.
And it does not look good for either Nava or Emma Barkley being taken out by Belle Florent and Hisano here. What kind of statement is being made right now by these very, very underhanded individuals?
And these two now fighting on the outside while Hisano's just stood in the ring recovering from that match with Nava. But Emma getting the upper hand, kneeing Belle in the head and just taking her to the floor. And a boot, and another boot to the head. And you can see Nava get up in the background. He still doesn't see it, just taken out by Nava. With
A huge
massive
shoulder block. A huge spear.
Once again kicking down Belle Florent. As we
And
see
now-
her stomp on the hand of Belle onto that barely padded concrete.
None of these women want to let up. None of these women want to let this die. This feud is continuing. This hatred is continuing. And Nava on the top rope. Darn. Heading into action with Aiden Flynn in just a moment. Aiden Flynn hasn't got a win here in Covenant Pro Wrestling. And Darn recently beat our television champion, Lucas Button. And right now, we're going to see these two go head to head.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Introducing first, making their way to the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, weighing in at 113 kilograms. This is the self-proclaimed global icon, Aiden Flynn.
Aiden Flynn making his way out to the ring, hasn't been able to get a win here yet in Covenant Pro Wrestling. He's taking on someone who recently beat one of our best superstars here.
One of our, I wouldn't say one of our best. I wouldn't say one of our best.
I
I'd
mean,
say
he's
one of our
in,
champions.
he's in some pretty big matches. That's kind of his thing.
I will castrate you.
Anyway, Aiden Flynn coming from Montreal, Quebec, Canada, the global icon, gracing us with his presence. And I am rooting for this individual right here.
I mean, I can't lie, I'm not. I want Dan Darnesta to keep his role going. That's my man, that's my Darnie.
And now for his
That's your
opponent,
Darnie, and here he
making
comes.
his way to the ring, allegedly from the North Pole, weighing in at least 10 pounds of pickles. This is Dan Darnester.
Dumb.
Well, the father of the Darn movement, the whole Darn show, if you will, making his way out to the ring, and the Darn movement is strong here on Uproar.
Darn making his way down to the ring. But as you said, he beat Lucas Button on the last Uproar. And let's be honest, not an impressive feat, but he definitely got that win, and he definitely got it in a strong fashion.
Absolutely. And every time Darn comes out of the ring, there is an energy unlike any other. And I think that's what helps them pick up the wins like that. So tonight, the odds are not on Aiden Flynn's side.
I mean, Darnesta has that momentum coming into this match, but Aiden Flynn has that massive desire to win. He has that need to win this match to prove himself, to show that to show that he belongs here in CPW.
Absolutely. And Jacob, I don't want to sound insensitive here, but I need to ask a question.
What?
What is up with Darnie's eye? Is that in fact a pickled eye?
I plead the fifth.
Well, as you plead the fifth, Aiden Flynn coming in hot here with a couple of kicks and a springboard moonsault.
Aiden Flynn starting this off very strong, trying to get this match going. And Darnesta hasn't been able to get anything going. Aiden Flynn just taking it to him.
Aiden Flynn, I'm convinced he's ready for that win. He's been training so hard. He has been trying to make himself worthy of the name of the global icon, partly because he can never stop talking about it, and partly because he truly wants to be it. And I hope that your chicken balls have been great for you, just like that splash may be great for Aiden Flynn here.
And we are a minute in. Aiden is already getting a 2 count, and Dan Darnesta hasn't been able to get anything going so far.
Now, when Aiden Flynn leaves that top rope, it's Aiden Flynn in the wind. He is going to fly, and most of the time it's going to be effective. So the fact that Darnie was able to kick out of that was quite impressive.
And Dan possibly being able to get back into it, but no, Aiden straight away back on Dan Darnesta. But Darnie too quick. But Aiden once again just eating that knee and taking it straight to him.
You know, an observation that I may have made just a moment ago is this height difference between Dan and Aiden Flynn too much? Is that going to be a deficit for Darnie here?
Obviously not. Look at that. Darnesta just going to the second rope and taking Aiden Flynn down. Look at the height difference now.
Everyone's the same size when they're laying on their back, and I guess that holds true here tonight, but Aiden Flynn does not want to go down.
Could he be already looking for that drop dead? No. Dan Darnesta lifting him up with that pickle flosion.
Pickle flosion explosion, 2 count here.
But Aiden just kicking out. This match has been 100 from the start. Going for that dark drop kick, but no! Aiden just swatting him away like a fly and going for that drop dead. But Dan Darnesta kicking out.
Darnie kicking out. That Gamangiri counter from the floor. The flexibility that you see from the Pickle Man here. Now finding some momentum in this matchup.
And dropping him onto his face.
It's like all of the things he went for in the beginning of this matchup. Now that Aiden Flynn is a little winded, now that he's a little more tired, he's able to pick his spots and get those moves off.
Oh, and Aiden just being cheap and choking him on the rope. Trying to use anything he can to get that win. And a punch to the gut by Darnesta. And then a knee, and then a forearm, and then no! Aiden catches it, grabs it, and hits a suplex to Darnesta.
That suplex had some snap on it, but could Aiden Flynn be looking for the shooting stardust? No!
No! A massive splash to Darnesta. But Darnie kicking out of the splash from Aiden Flynn.
The former WNW Openweight champion not ready to be out of this matchup quite yet. The pickle flosion.
Pickle flosion.
2. Aiden Flynn
not willing to let it go.
What's it gonna take to keep Aiden Flynn down?
Once again dropping him on his face. Stomping on the back of the leg. The massive forearm to the head of Aiden Flynn. Grabbing his arms, pulling him in, and a Kamigoye to Flynn.
And now, the Pickle Man going up top.
He went for the King Kong knee drop, but Aiden moves out the way.
That sound effect that you added may perfectly describe what happened there. But the shooting stardust may be imminent, and it is.
The midnight followed by the shooting stardust. 2. No, Darnesta kicking out. And you can see the anger in Aiden Flynn's eyes, shouting at Leonard Seymour.
We are less than 5 minutes in this matchup, but we've seen more wrestling here tonight than the rest of the night. And a
drop dead Tiger Driver. 1, 2, 3. Aiden Flynn's done it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Aiden Flynn is our winner here tonight.
Picking up that victory with Dan Darnesta. That match was fast as hell and extremely high impact from both men.
So I've heard through the grapevine, if you win the television championship from Lucas Button, am I allowed to divulge what you have proposed? But I don't know. Let us know what happens with this matchup.
If I beat Lucas, sorry, let me rephrase. When I beat Lucas, Aiden Flynn, after that performance, can have a championship match. And every time I'm wrestling, that title will be on the line.
Well, we hear that, and that sounds amazing. But right now, we're going to hear from Jay Scott up next. We're going to hear about what's been happening in Jay's life, what he's going for next, where he's going from here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the ring the star of CBS's Behind Enemy Lines, the greatest of all time, Jay Scott.
It's been ups and downs for Jay Scott professionally. Outside of wrestling, he has been doing very well. We've seen him be successful in some of his matches so far, but you know, he wants to be champion. He is the face of CBS right now. Can he be the face of Covenant Pro Wrestling?
Hello, CPW fans. That's right, the big star, one of the big stars is here. I'm so excited to be here on this incredible show, bringing fans to Covenant Pro Wrestling and leading this company into the future. Speaking of the future, I have some very big news about my future. That's right, the all-new CBS series Behind Frenemy Lines has been confirmed for a second season. That's in large part to all of you who loyally watch the story of veteran Special Forces operative Dirk Brickler, played by yours truly, help society survive against a coordinated assault by the world's middle schoolers. That's not all I'm here for, though. As you know, my match with Will Sheridan didn't have the conclusion that I wanted, that you wanted, or that the CPW investors wanted. As a result, I've been asked to resume my road to the CPW World's Championship. I'm pleased to announce that my match against Johnny D to determine the next contender for the World's Championship has been confirmed for CPW Bloody Valentine. I'd like to invite Johnny out here in case he wants to share his appreciation for the chance to share the ring with the greatest of all time. Johnny, are you back there?
Yeah, I'm here, unfortunately. Pulled up over a little tune-up match before I avenged my loss against you at Bloody Valentine. But to my surprise, I ran into our world champion, Chairman Will Sheridan, and I was ready to run his fade. But he wanted to talk instead. During this talk, we realized we have a mutual respect for each other. Do we like each other though? Hell no. But we also realized that we actually have one thing in common. We don't like your puppet's ass. With that being said, Will gave me the night off and gave my match to you instead, since your opponent is someone who also doesn't like you. And since you already in the ring, that match is next. It's a real damn shame that nice suit you got on is gonna get a bit dirty though. Ain't my damn problem. So how about this bitch?
Well, Johnny D apparently trading matchups with Jay Scott. Now Jay Scott has to wrestle in a damn suit.
Jay wrestling in a suit and tie, but not backing down.
From Edinburgh, Scotland, weighing in at 240
And wrestling against Kieran Malachi,
the anus assassin.
he assassinates something. Okay, there's a couple of asses in that nickname, so I get where you're going from. Anyway,
Kieran pointing to the palm of his hand as he walks to the ring, like a fucking mug.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hate to be unprofessional here, but that was kind of funny. Anyway, Kieran Malachi, jokes aside, is not to be fooled with here. He's been recruiting for what he calls the Black-White Army for what seems like forever, but now he is back to face the potential number one contender, Jay Scott.
Jay sending Kieran straight into the corner and just hitting a massive blow to, and Kieran just getting straight back out of it with an elbow. Kieran just lifting Jay up and slamming him to the floor with ease, dropping him down and just stomping Jay into the mat. Jay kicking out of it. punching out. And another massive gut punch.
Wrestling in a suit is no easy feat, but Jay Scott was trained by Killer Kowalski and TJ Wilson, so I imagine if you would task anybody with wrestling in a suit, Jay Scott would be the one to be able to do it.
I bet Jamie Clark could do it. A massive power bomb to Jay Scott. Now, Jamie doesn't wear suits. And a massive elbow to Jay, going for the cover because Jay's in a suit. He has that disadvantage of the lack of movement and only getting the kick out of 2.
Well, you know, whether he's in a suit or not, I have no doubts that Jay Scott, in order to kick out of a pinfall there, will literally tear his pants to get a victory.
Sending Jay straight out of the ring is Kieran Malachi. That takes some strength to do. Taking his arms, bending it back and stomping him. Stomping it, and he's going for it again. Bending that elbow in the way it should not be bent. But Jay getting straight back up and dropping that same elbow onto Kieran's chest. And doing the same to him.
You know, Kieran is one of the people that like to go out to the barely padded concrete, but Jay Scott showing us that he is quite well versed at doing the same thing.
Jay, can you get him off our desk? He's ugly as hell. He smells real bad. I don't think he wore deodorant. Oh, thank God.
And Jay Scott covering his face, trying to mask out the smell of Kieran Malachi, cover that nose. But unfortunately, he has to get...
Lifting up, Cody looking for a victory road onto Jay. No! Jay slipping out and hitting a massive belly to belly. And a clothesline. And another. Going for the kick. No, spins out, sweeps the leg. And Jay celebrating with his fans after that performance.
Jay Scott is feeling it. And you know, I quite like the aesthetic of him wrestling in a suit. It's actually working pretty good.
He looks nice. He looks good in the suit. But Kieran bending the arm back, lifting up and just dropping him on that arm.
But you do have to imagine that, you know, releasing that arm from that hold would be quite more difficult in a suit because of the restrictions in the arms. Oh,
has to, because that is, you know, that is wrapping around the muscle, and then as it's being dropped down, you are getting the compression of the suit plus the compression of your body dropping in between the canvas.
Absolutely. If I were in that situation, I'd be breaking buttons to try to get out of that thing.
Victory road from the top. I think he is.
Absolutely. The road to victory for Jay Scott is not far from here. Only one more stop, and there it is.
1, 2. But Kieran kicking out. The Anubis assassin, as I've been told. Not Aiden.
The Anubis assassin, as I've been told.
And the Atom Smasher from Jay Scott. It doesn't matter what his name is because this match is over. No! Kieran kicking out.
And that's how I know Jay Scott didn't get a degree in physics or anything like that. Because if he had, that would have been all she wrote.
I'm just slamming Kieran straight onto the mat. Massive elbow drop to Kieran Malachi. And going
maybe the exclamation point.
Kieran once again kicking out. Going for another elbow. Kieran getting up, avoiding that elbow.
A huge backdrop there. And a spine buster. Jay Scott, I think, went for a drop kick, but got the legs caught up. Kieran Malachi
just throwing Jay across the ring. And a massive splash.
Now Kieran Malachi.
What could he be looking for here? The anus backbreaker.
Well, that will sure break somebody's anus. Make me crap my pants. Pinfall.
But Jay kicking out of the Anubis?
Anubis, exactly.
Anubis backbreaker. Calling him straight back up, but no going for the knee, but Jay kicks him in the head.
Jay going for a victory road.
Victory road! Sending him crashing to the floor, going for the cover. 1, 2. No! Kieran kicking out.
And now looking for another, perhaps.
Looking for that Atom Smasher. Possibly looking to end the match. Lifting him up. Dropping him down with the Atom Smasher. 1, 2. No!
But Kieran kicks out. And now an elbow to the midsection there. Maybe a little lower. Jay Scott really felt that one. And just the strength after all this punishment to be able to lift his opponent vertically over his head and a slam like that.
Dropping down. And an elbow to the gut of Kieran Malachi from Jay. Jay grabbing him, lifting him up and just throwing him across the ring.
That T-bone suplex with perfection there. But now Jay going up top.
And in a suit as well.
Well, he's looking fly, so he's
Jay,
feeling fly, and he might fly, but no.
Jay knew it was better for him. He would have been able to make that if he was in his gear, but as he's in a suit, he couldn't have made it, and I think he realised that. But hits an elbow drop on the ground.
I hope those aren't padded elbows, because I want this to hurt. I mean, I think he wants this to hurt. It doesn't have anything to do with me.
And Jay locking in a submission on Kieran Malachi. Could he tap out here?
As we say, we are totally impartial.
Go. I'm not impartial. We all know this. Okay, let's be real. I'm not.
My name is James Randall, and I am the most impartial. But now,
lifting him up. What could he be looking for here? Got Jay in a powerbomb
to
position.
throw him outside of the ring.
No, just dropping him down, making him smack his head along those ropes as he falls. And a massive knee. Going for the cover. Jay Scott kicking out.
Jay Scott kicking out. Jay Scott adding to his dry cleaning bill there.
KM overdrive. Busting Jay open as he hits the floor.
And that could be it. 2. And
it's over. Kieran Malachi beats Jay Scott in a suit.
Keyword is in a suit, but damn, that means a whole lot. He took, what, 2 victory roads, 2 Atom Smashers, potentially more, and came out with a victory? Kieran Malachi making a statement, suit or not.
That is a statement to be able to take that much from a possible #1 contender to the World Championship.
Apologize for the technical difficulties with my broadcast colleague there. He cut out, and all I heard was World Championship, so I hope that you guys heard what he said. But now, we're heading into the main event. Will Sheridan, the Live Wire, our Covenant Pro Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion and Chairman, taking on his good friend, the No Limit Soldier, the Iron Patriot, Brad Winters. Because Will Sheridan says Brad deserves to face him in a way that Jamie Clark does not.
Jamie Clark deserves to batter the ever-living shit out of
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest is
so yeah, in a match with a match with rules, yeah, he does his own place.
Of 20 minutes, introducing first.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, weighing in at 229 pounds, he is the vindicator of Covenant Pro Wrestling, the Live Wire.
ladies and gentlemen,
Sheridan.
the
No
phenom
gods,
from
no
Fort
kings,
Lauderdale,
no
Florida.
gods, no kings, no gods,
Will
no
Sheridan.
kings, no gods, no kings, no gods, no kings, no gods, no kings, no gods.
Well, this act of defiance here,
Hey, cut my mic back on. Cut
This act-
Don't cut my mic.
this act of defiance here by my broadcast colleague with World Heavyweight Champion Will Sheridan coming out to the ring to face his good friend Brad Winters. He's going to be paying for that one in his paycheck for sure. But now you probably can hear him screaming in the background like a pathetic little child.
You're nothing.
He has allowed this feud with his family and Will Sheridan to go a little bit too far, and now he's paying the price.
You're nothing, Will.
And now for his opponent.
But Brad Winters making his way out to the ring. Wait, what the?
Oh shit, never mind.
Well, not much in
My thoughts exactly. Brad Winters supposed to be facing Will Sheridan right now in the middle of the ring, but it's been... Get back here, dude. You're gonna get fired. You're not, functioning as a wrestler right now. But no, the midnight on Brad Winters. Unfortunately, Brad has been knocked the hell out.
What the absolute hell? You two, I thought we had a deal. So that's how we want to play it, huh? You want to take me out, Jamie? You want to dethrone me? Well, at Bloody Valentine, and no sooner, you will get your chance. At the pay-per-view, I'm going to take you on a ride, a wild ride, the most brutal match in CPW history. I'm going to make you bleed. I'm going to make you beg. I'm going to make you whimper. I'm going to make you wish that you never stumbled upon my timeline. And Jamie, for Bloody Valentine, I hope you are prepared to love, blood, guts, violence, and barbed wire just as much as I do.
Barbed wire? What the hell are we talking about here? Barbed wire at Bloody Valentine, but ladies and gentlemen, that is all we have for you this week. If you want to get ready for Bloody Valentine, watch some more Uproar, some more CPW on the playlist shown on your screen, and we will see you next time.